How is everyone tonight? Thanks, Kathy. I'm running the show and the system tonight. Liz had her last Girl Scout meeting of the year, so they were having some kind of soiree. So she is there instead of here. She's missing out, I think. I don't know. It is almost time for Christmas. It's getting here way quick. Way quick. I'm not ready. I don't know if anybody else is. I still have sewing to do. So Monday, we're going to talk about quick projects that you can do for Christmas. Just trying to get everybody let in and set up. Thank you. Isn't that fun? These apron blanks are nice and easy to stitch out some quick gifts with. Oh my, that's a lot of cards, Sharon. I gave up on cards a long time ago. I know that's terrible, but it was one of those things that, they tell you have to just say no sometimes. So it was something I had to start saying no to. So is anybody working on anything fun? Why you haven't gotten them done? Because you have so many to do. Thank you. We're going to talk about my apron here shortly. Has anybody made their project yet? Ooh, you're going to try and quilt with them? That'll be very fun. The tiles. I'm something. I don't know if funny is the word. A friend of mine texted me a little while ago and said, "Would you come with me to such and such tonight?" And I said, at 7, and I said, "No, I won't be home yet." I said, "I'm teaching a class tonight." She said, "Is it one of those funny classes you teach, like wearing a sombrero or something?" I said, "Well, maybe. We'll see." Oh yeah, a towel would be cute for this. This would be a cute little kitchen towel. And it's a fairly quick design to stitch. But I have some ideas for what else we can do with it. And some other ideas for carriers. We'll give everybody just a couple more minutes. There's still people signing in. I dug out, I don't know that it's all of them, but I dug out a lot of our fill in the blanks from the last year. And there were things that I kind of had even forgotten we had done. So I dug out as many as I could find so that if we have any questions or anything on past blanks or designs. Oh, thanks, Sharon. I try. Maybe it's because I'm a mess all the time. I like this green color too. Funny, I wanted to make this apron and I said, I want it to be a little more Christmassy. This design doesn't have to be Christmassy. It can be any time of the year, kitchen-y, sort of fun. But I said, I want to do an apron and I want to kind of make it a little Christmassy. My mother-in-law is suddenly rediscovered aprons. She goes, "I don't know why I don't wear aprons more often." She said, "When I cook," but she said, "I'm going to start wearing them." So I decided this year I was going to make some fun aprons for her for Christmas. So this might be one of them, but yeah, it was really funny. If you would have seen us trying to pick out the color palette for the apron, it was comical. I think we had every bolt of sparkly fabric that we own in the store out. and greens and reds, felts and velvets, and just all this. It was stuff everywhere. Somebody said, I think you've emptied all the shelves. So they all have their place, the different colors. But yeah, you could do the green and red on anything, or you could do green with a white banner, or, lots of other fun colors. And I have another one I'm going to show you here that I did on a gray tote bag as well. And I used gray and navy blue. So it's just fun to play with your color combinations. You get a totally different look every time you do that. So, okay, looks like we have quite a few friends here tonight. I know it's close to Christmas, so that makes it a little more calm for us as a group, I guess. Maybe not for everybody who's missing because they have somewhere to be. I had so many people tell me, like, I have to miss tonight. I'm going to be gone. I said, it's okay. We'll catch you up. We'll send you the videos. But so tonight's or this month's project is the carrier. Could be for a casserole, could be for cookies, could be for a pie, all kinds of things. But it does make a nice size tote. I actually have a pie carrier in here. No pie, just an empty pie pan. I needed it for the weight. That slips right in here, but you could do a small casserole dish in there. It is a nice little convenient way to carry stuff, especially if you're like me, when you go to somebody's house and you have like 4,000 things and you're trying to carry it all in. You can like slide this on your arm and off you go. But the cream colored background with the fun, sparkly, shiny champagne color, I think it did turn out fun. I do like it. But that is your project that you can make with your blank for this month. Obviously, you could always turn your tote bag into a tote bag if you didn't want to make a pie carrier. As we were talking about, I stitched this on one of the Kimberbell aprons. And the new apron style, if you have some of the older ones, they didn't have an adjustable neck. The new ones have an adjustable strap for the neck, so you can make it as short or long as you would like. Well, to an extent. The other thing about the new aprons is they're very long. So you could make them for anybody, tall person, men, women, everybody. And you could always hem the bottom off, or you could turn it up and make pockets out of it. Somebody was saying I would cut the bottom off and make a half apron for somebody out of the bottom half, that it was so long. But they're really nice aprons. So these are great if you need some quick Christmas gift ideas. This might make Monday's project list, quick apron gifts. So that is an option. And like I said, you can play with your colors. I do highly recommend with this project, if you haven't done it, this outer circle piece, the first thing it does, if you haven't watched the videos, is it does a placement stitch, and we stitch down, or we lay down our felt piece. And it is important. I wouldn't use something that's going to ravel there, because it is a very raw edge. It doesn't even just have a straight stitch around it. It just has this decorative floral all the way around, the greenery around the edge. So you're actually just trimming in and out of those little alcoves. And if you had cotton fabric or something that's going to fray, you're going to get frayed edges real quick on something like this. So using the felt is probably a really good way to go. You could use leather if you wanted to. With the leather, there is going to be a lot of little trimming in and out of those little leaves, depending on how accurate you want to get with it. So, kind of keep that in mind as a tip. And then the second thing to keep in mind is, even though we do a placement stitch first and then we lay down our felt, it actually moves on to doing the appliques and for the salt and pepper shaker before it moves on to doing the vine stitch around the outside edge. So there's nothing that's going to be holding that felt down or that background fabric down when you start to do those appliques. So it's really important at that point that you have some tape and use your Kimberbell tape I put it along all 4 sides just to keep that from shifting around. And then I moved it. So if you're like me and you have done a million applique embroidery designs, the first thing I did was put it down and change my thread color so that it would match my background felt so that it would disappear. And then it moved on to stitch something else. And I went, oh, you should read the directions because it tells you it's not going to tack it down. It's going to move on to appliques. So FYI, if you don't want to read the directions, I'm telling you, it's not going to tack it down. So the other thing that I thought would be fun is why not take some other designs and create some carriers? This little kitchen one would be good for any time. But I stitched out some mug rugs from Mug Rugs 4 in the last couple weeks, and I did the ones with the cookies and milk. And I thought, how fun would it be to make a carrier with the little cookies and milk logo on it? So I used the light denim tote bag color. This is one that there's a dark denim, there's a light denim. The light denim is like what we used in the month of January to make our sparkle tote up here. And we still have some of these. So this is a fun way to utilize this. And I just made it into a cookie carrier. Again, you could slip a plate in there. If you've got a container, you keep cookies in. It just makes it a nice, easy way to handle and tote things around. It would make a fun little gift for somebody too. So those are some of the projects that I stitched out in lieu of the original design. Now you've all got your videos. Did anybody watch them and have any questions? Does it make sense to everybody what we're doing with those? So the other fun thing that I wanted to kind of talk about is if you were in Fill in the Blank Club for the first 6 months of the year, if you participated in that, in March, we did the little bunny basket. So we took the little canvas tote bag and we turned it into this little Easter basket. If anybody remembers or did that. Those were a lot of fun. And so when we got this tote bag, I thought, and it was kitchen themed, I thought, ooh, we could make a fun little basket. So if you use the larger tote bags to make a basket, it's still going to sit at the same height. So it's about 6 inches in what the height is, but you can, it makes it a little bit longer. It looks more like an oval than a circle. So I thought this would make a fun little bread basket, and it's that nice woven fabric. So you could throw it in the wash. You can do those sorts of things, but you can place your embroidery right here by flipping it upside down and stitching it what would look like you were stitching it upside down on the tote bag. Instead of stitching it for the pie carrier, we would just rotate the design 180 degrees and stitch it in this area. Now I will tell you the size of the design just fits across this little area. So you may want to take it into your machine or software and scale it down just a little bit, or resize it just a little bit smaller if you wanted it to fit perfectly inside of there. If you do the exact size that it is, I'm going to show you, the handles will kind of just cut across the edge of that little banner. So it's just another fun option that you could use this for, is your little bread basket, or you could fill it up with cute little kitchen tools and give it to somebody as a gift for the holiday, gift for a housewarming, shower gift, something like that. It would be really cute for. What I've done here is I've taken one of the gray tote bags and it's still hooped with the majority of the bag hanging off to the left-hand side, just like the instructions for the pie carrier. The only difference is this time my design, I've rotated it on my screen so that instead of it being this way and me being to read it from the bottom side, from the embroidery arm side up, I flipped the design over upside down so that we can create that little basket. The other thing that I've done with this one is, of course, I've changed the color palette from what you saw on the original and as well as on my apron. And also, the other thing that I did is I actually, and you might not be able to see it very well, so I'm going to try to move in here a little closer. You can see that I've stitched out the words and the little leaves, but I left off the little salt and pepper shaker. So I didn't stitch those out just because, not for any particular reason. They're very cute and they go very nicely with the little seasoned with love. But I thought it would be fun to show you how you could take this design, stitch out this portion of it, and then you could go back into your machine or into your collection of embroidery designs and choose a different themed design to put there. It wouldn't necessarily have to be the salt and pepper shaker. Or if you wanted to change the words to say something else, you could skip those stitch steps and put in different words with the machine as well. So all I've done is stitched out all of the design and skipped over the steps for the salt and pepper shaker, the appliques, the regular stitches and that sort of thing. And then once I finished, I went back to my embroidery edit screen. So I still have my design called up on the screen. And I'm going to get rid of my placement crosshair just so you can see a little better. So now I just have my, I got to change one other thing too. Change my background color so you can see a little better. So I have my design up on screen. It's in exactly the place where I put it while I was stitching it. And I can go from here and I can add some other kind of design element just by going to my built-in designs or to my USB stick. I can go through my designs and I can find something that I want to put in place of that salt and pepper shaker. Now, what you'll want to remember is that salt and pepper shaker were tiny little designs. So you want to make sure you're finding something small and tiny to put it in there. I can just kind of lay what I want in there, duplicate them. I can mirror image them. I can put multiple different designs in there. But so you can take and lay additional designs on top of what would be your stitching area where you just had it. And then when you're ready to stitch, I can delete the design from the background and just go back into stitch out. And from there, it's going to sew. I can add those little apples into my This Kitchen Is instead of having the salt and pepper shaker. Forgot what they were called. So you could do the same thing with the text. You could create just that background element, stitch that part. And if you wanted different words to be there, you could utilize this little label and you could put Merry Christmas in there or whatever it is, Happy Birthday or anything you want. I always laugh when I have casserole carriers and things of that nature. I always put my name on everything because I never seem to get things back, right? And I said, I'm going to start embroidering on my casserole carriers. This belongs to the dim baths. I said, because it's really funny how everybody loves your casserole carrier when you go to someone's house with it and you end up back at home with your dish, but you don't end up with your casserole carrier. So there's lots of options for you to be able to go in and add a different element into that embroidery design or change it up right on the screen of your sewing machine. Pretty easy. We've done a lot of that in the software this year. But for those that maybe don't have software or that's not a huge interest to them, that would just give you an alternative. Just remember, if you skip over a step, leave a blank spot on your embroidery design, and then you can call in that additional design later to create that different look or different element in the finished product. Now, if you weren't part of Kimberbell fill in the blank when you in January, so in the March in January through June, so when we did the bunny basket in March, there is a YouTube video on our YouTube channel that goes over how to turn the little tote bags into a basket. So that is available for everybody. And it actually, I can post a link in the chat. And that link will take you to our YouTube channel and specifically to the bunny basket video, not the whole embroidery process, but it's going to take you to just the assembly video. So you can see how you can take any tote bag and turn it into a basket, which is really kind of a fun idea for some of these tote bags. So now you can make your tote bag into a tote bag. You can make your tote bag into a basket. You can make your tote bag into a carrier. I've seen people make their tote bags into pillows. You can do all kinds of fun things with your tote bags. So there's lots of options there. So I know that this is not anything crazy long or a lot, but I know everybody's busy and I wanted to make sure that we kind of got in some of those tips and tricks on what you could do with this. Does anybody have any questions about this project or about any of the fill in the blanks that we've done throughout the last year? I know there is a lot of projects. There's a lot of videos out there with instructions, but then you guys have all been getting these recordings with the additional project ideas as well. I didn't know if anybody had any questions or if there's anything you want to revisit or see from the past year's club. Does anybody have any show and tell they want to share? Everybody's multitasking tonight. Everybody's being super quiet. Can you still hear me? Am I still there? So just a few things as reminders coming up for Kimberbell. Yes, I figured everybody is very busy. I get it. That's why I was like, tonight we're going to kind of hit this, make sure there's no questions, show you some alternate ideas, aprons, baskets, buckets, all that good stuff. Utilize some of those other designs you have. This one, I just skipped over the background quilting and the part of it making a mug rug and just stitched out the fun part of the design on the tote bag. So, think about that kind of stuff when I understand mute is nice sometimes. Think about all the things that you can take these designs that you have and how you can put them into something else. You don't have to necessarily stitch exactly what is given to you. That's what my goal is for these classes, is to not only teach you what Kimberbell has created, but also, hold on and I'll scooch it up. I told him earlier, I said I made the neck so tight that I couldn't get it over my big head. So the apron is the same design. I just did a green felt background with a red glitter at the bottom. I used silver metallic thread to go around and do the leaves. And then I used white thread for the kitchen part and black thread on my red just to make it really stand out. I really like how that turned out. It was nice. And you could do that color scheme on your black and white bag. That would be fun too, as your pie carrier. I know. Well, I started to put my hat on, but then when I put my apron on, it just didn't work. It was funny. We were somewhere the other night and I might leave these cookies here. You could have some treats when you come in. Well, that would be fun to make the pepper with red for red hot peppers. You could take a little slice of pizza and put with it. Do a red pepper shaker with a slice of pizza. But so lots of fun things you can do beyond just what Kimberbell tells us to do or anybody tells us to do. It's just taking those designs and trying to get outside the box with them, take them apart. The first thing I do when I get a design is I start looking at it and thinking, how can I How can I dismantle this and make it into something else? I know that seems very strange. Maybe I should have been an engineer. Let's take it apart, start over, see what we can figure out. But so those are kind of some of my tips and tricks for tonight. Upcoming with Kimberbell. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of this by now with everything that we've been showing, but January, so for the new club, oh, that would be cute. Just change the word this, yes, or the so-and-so's kitchen is seasoned with. That would be very cute. I like that idea, Kelly. So January, we start a new club. If you've seen things out there, it's the Digital Dealer Exclusive Club. We're actually going to call it our Kimberbell 2022 Club because it's more than just the digital exclusives that we like to provide. We want to go even a step further than the project given, but this is the month of January's little project. It's very cute and it's hanging up in here if you want to come in and see it. Done with the little Kimberbell hoops. It has chenilled ears. It's a double hooping project. So lots of fun here. I've already been working on some alternate ideas. I'm really excited because they have guaranteed, quote unquote, knock knock, that we should be able to have access to this ahead of time enough that we can get our videos done and get our samples done. So I'm looking forward to that. But if you haven't seen the 13 projects for the year, there is a sign or a poster up in the store with all the projects so you can see. If you're interested in signing up month to month, it's $15. If you want to sign up for the whole year, there is a $45 savings. And it will give you access to the design for each month, the instructions, as well as a videoed lesson and a Zoom class that will take place once a month. And then when we get into the spring and warmer months, we are hoping for some in-person, maybe hybrid models for those that are interested, doing some fun parties and getting people back together a little bit. But so that is coming up. I do want to remind you that if you have decided you want to sign up for the full year's club, we just ask that you do that by January 8th. That will give us enough time to make sure we have everybody in the system before the first design goes out. The class will fall on the second Wednesday of the month. I know that is a change, but we are shifting to the second Wednesday of the month. And that is coming up. So if you haven't signed up for that, give us a call. We can get you signed up or stop in and see us even better. We like to see your smiling faces, and we will get you signed up there as well. A couple other things I want to tell you about. We did the wine bottle bags last month, and they are the navy blue wine bottle bags. And we made it into a gift bag also by utilizing 2 of them, if you recall, if you were on. We just got in a whole bunch of the burgundy, hard to even tell that's what they are. They're a burgundy colored wine bottle bag. And they come as individuals. They come as singles. They're $8.95. So if you need more wine bottle bags, we don't have navy blue, but we do have them in the burgundy. Kelly, those pictures for 2022, it is not, we don't have it posted online, but I will have Liz work on that tomorrow and get it up there, so that maybe she'll tack it to an email or, post it someplace so you can see all the projects without having to stop in the store. But yeah, I can show it to you. It's kind of cute. There's a book pillow. There's a collage project. There's some little drawstring bags. There's a mug rug, a purse in the hoop, an apron, some trapunto done on one of the little velveteen bags, some chenille, some eye masks. So some really cute stuff. But I will have Liz get that posted in the next day or so, or she'll send it out on the email, one or the other. If you have been joining us for demos in December, we have Saturday's demo coming up, will be at 9 o'clock. It's going to cover a few different areas and some fun things. We're going to be embellishing. I actually created my own design, utilized some fun Kimberbell fabric and glitter, as well as some embellishment options. And we're going to talk about all those fun techniques in 30 minutes. I'm not sure how we're going to get it done, but we're going to get it done. So this is just a sneak peek of what that looks like. If you're interested, even if you haven't joined us for any of the other demos, you might want to jump on for that one. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then the following Monday, we'll do it again. So if you can't join Saturday, we'll do it in the afternoon on Monday. Monday morning, we're going to do Facebook Live, and we have some quick gift options. So last minute gifts, if you need to get things made, we're going to talk a lot about that. Don't fear. If you feel like you may have missed out on the opportunity for 3 demos, make sure that you tune in or watch your emails, because it looks like we're going to do a bonus demo day on the 21st. I don't have a time yet. We're still working on that, but I know hot chocolate with whipped cream does sound good. More whipped cream than Starbucks. That's fun. Yeah, so lots of fun things happening. I know it's hectic and busy, but if you can catch some of the fun stuff, it's great. If you miss out, we try to put a lot of the videos that are not class videos. We try to put a lot of the videos accessible on YouTube. Plus, we make videos specifically just for our YouTube channel. So if you haven't done that, make sure you check out the channel and make sure you follow it, because you'll get notifications and things when we do new stuff. So we've been trying to add some new videos to that as well. So I won't keep you any longer. If you have questions, I'd be glad to answer them, and it can be about anything here. I would be glad to answer those and go from there. Otherwise, have a great evening. Thanks for joining me. Make sure you post pictures of all the fun things you do, okay? Thank you. Merry Christmas if I don't see you before then. Happy holidays.